everybody, welcome to BanjoBenClark.com. This is your home to learn how to pick on the mandolin, the guitar, and the banjo. This week we are doing a Red Apple Rag. It's a good old fiddle tune out of the key of G on the mandolin. It's great for basic players, great for intermediate players. This one gives you a lot of licks to play in G, C, and D. Check it out. Pretty cool, huh? What it does, it follows a really cool pattern through the G, C, and D chords. And I remember this was one of the first songs that I learned on mandolin. It's an old kind of Texas swing fiddle tune. And it gave me a great opportunity to just learn some fill licks or learn some solo licks out of the keys or playing over the chords of G, C, and D. So I know you'll enjoy it, and it's fun to play it fast too. If you'll go to the website, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can join as a Gold Peak member, and you can get the tab for this song and all the rest of them that I teach. I actually produce a video each and every week. We rotate through banjo, mandolin, guitar. And when you go to the website, I have one video segment that slows down every measure. I teach you everything that you need to know right and left hand about every measure. Then I have another video where I play the whole thing through from start to finish, very, very slowly, so you can practice along with me. I have the tab there on the screen as well to help you out. And then at the end I have a rhythm track. Get a guitar, and I have a rhythm track video, and we play it at 4 different speeds, so you can really build it up there and learn how to play this Red Apple Rag. Let's jump into measure 1 right now. The first thing we're going to see in Red Apple Rag is this kickoff. Since this is a fiddle tune, we're going to treat it as a typical fiddle tune and kind of have a kickoff type intro. Some people call these potatoes. I've covered these in a lot of videos before, but essentially if you're the one that's starting out this song, you're going to want to set the tempo, and the song's in the key of G, so this is your opportunity to do that. And what's going to happen is you're going to play a downstroke with fretting the 4th fret on the D string, and then hammer to the 5th fret. Try to make it through both of those strings. There you go. And we're going to do that for 4 measures until we get into the first A part. So I'm just going to play through this kickoff with you, and as you can kind of hear what it sounds like. That's the first 2 measures, okay? So slow down, that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then I'm just going to kind of repeat that in measure 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and then on the 4th beat of measure 4 is kind of where we get into the melody of the song, starting down here on the 4th fret to the 2nd fret of the low G string. Okay, so just remember that tempo, that's what you're going to use to set the tempo of the song. If I want to play it really fast, okay, let's look at the first A part there, measure 5. This is a great song because this was one of the first mandolin songs I learned, actually, because it's in the key of G, which is a common key, and we're going through G, C, and D. And it gives you just a lot of great scale-based licks that you can use when you're improvising, when you're doing fills. So that's one reason why I presented this song for instruction, because you're going to find yourself just really working on scales and positions out of each one of these chords. But measure 5 sounds like this. We're going to start on our low G string there. Watch your pick strokes, those arrows beneath each one of the notes. And measure 5 slowly, sounds like this. That's almost playing the entire G scale. The entire G scale would be, we would have a 5th fret there, and that would be the full G scale. So we're essentially playing all the way up the G scale, just omitting that C note, then ending on that A string, okay? I have a whole other web instructional video series here on the website that deals with your G scale, so you can get really familiar with that. But measure 6 sounds like this. Okay. It's important to count these little notes that are tied together. They're 8th notes. They get half a beat apiece. So I count them 1 and 2 and then like that 3rd beat there is a quarter note, so it gets a full beat itself. So as I'm counting measure 6, sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Every measure gets 4 beats. So now we switch to the C chord in measure 7, and we're going to essentially play the same lick except moved up to a C position. So before we started in measure 5 on a G note for a G chord, now we're going to start on a C note and play the same type of lick. It sounds like this, measure 7. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Same thing here. We just missed one note of the C major scale. If we were playing it all the way up, we're skipping that 3rd fret. Measure 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's just going to lead into measure 9, which is the D chord. Sounds like this. Same type of scale lick. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and into measure 10. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now we're going to wrap up the first time through the A part, okay, with this little turnaround lick here, starting measure 11. It sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay. Then we get back around to our G chord. And so measure 12 sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and notice that that kickoff there, or those last 2 notes in measure 12, are going to be just exactly the same as what we saw in measure 4, leading into the second B part, or the second A part. Let's take a look at the second A part now, because it's a little bit more involved, but you'll see how it follows the same melody.